Welcome everybody to the 7th JW Raw, and this is the fallout of Elimination Chamber. Absolutely outstanding event that we just witnessed last night, and we're here with Hardcore Champion Rob Van Dam, who retained last night, as well as Damien Sandow, the challenger tonight for this title, who earned a spot in the pre-show against Bo Dallas. And we're going to see a good old hardcore match between those two, and it was a very exciting hardcore match between Fandango and RVD, and hopefully Sandow can deliver the same match, and I believe he's got it in him, and he can do that. As we saw a dominant performance against Bo Dallas in the pre-show of JW Elimination Chamber, and of course in part 1 is when RVD retained that title. So RVD making his way to the ring. Rob Van Dam, and he's set to defend that title, which is of course the hardcore title, defended weekly here on JW Raw. And yeah, so if you missed Elimination Chamber, you can of course go check it out whenever you'd like on the channel. It was certainly something you do not want to miss, and you should go check that out before or after watching this. But assuming since you're already on this, might as well check it out afterwards. So RVD set to make his way to the ring, and we're about to see Damien Sandow, a very impressive Damien Sandow, re-debuting in WWE 2K15 as of recently. Of course, very successful in WWE 13 JW storylines, in the Intercontinental Championship picture for a long while. Of course, that was the mid-card title on JW Raw at the time, but now he's branched off into the European and the hardcore titles, and Damien Sandow looks to become the, I believe, the third unique hardcore champion that there is. Of course, RVD, a two-time hardcore champion, and Fandango, also one of the hardcore champions, and if Damien Sandow wins tonight, he'll be the third person to win the title, and it will be the fourth different reign, I believe. So nonetheless, RVD, and you gotta think RVD is much more wounded after that hardcore match. Well, meanwhile, Damien Sandow just wasn't a standard match last night, but and when he dominated at that, RVD looks to get quick work going on Damien Sandow with multiple monkey flips. Now going under the barricade. If I didn't mention this before, I'm Jack Epister. I'm not joined by Will today. Double axe handle by Damien Sandow. RVD was getting a chair. He comes back in the ring in order to be plopped on by Sandow with that big double axe handle. Of course, Damien Sandow in the more classic look, vibrant colors. And the same thing with RVD, except he's got of course, that nice singlet. Damien Sandow now just wailing the chair shots on RVD, misses that one, and it costs him a big knee to the back of Damien Sandow. And now the chair coming into big play here as part of this hardcore match. Of course, the referee can't do anything about it, as RVD looks to go for a second DDT, which he connects with. The referee cannot do anything about weapons. They are perfectly legal in this match. The only thing illegal, I'm not actually sure if anything's illegal in this match, but you must win by pinfall or submission, and there's no DQs or countouts. But the pinfall must be in the ring, as this is not a Falls Count Anywhere match. As Damien Sandow gets to the head of RVD, and both these men around the same damage so far in the match, most of it sustained from those chair shots. Big drop kick by Damien Sandow now. Damien Sandow has been in a role as of lately, since debuting in JW Raw, or re-debuting, and becoming hardcore champion would certainly be a step up. As Damien Sandow now has a table, very interesting choice of weapon there. Of course, you had to picture him going through the table for maximum damage, but just like that, you see, you can just wail the table onto your opponent as well. Sandow picks up RVD now with that table center in the ring. Sandow's got RVD. Oh, and that big move by Sandow plants RVD onto the ground. Looks to be trying to get something through the table, but he doesn't know exactly what to do. We can see it go through right here, though. Just misses that table. It does hit the bottom, and it does cause the table to fall. Sandow does have a signature that RVD reverses. And RVD now has that 5-star frog flash in sight. Could retain the title here tonight. And he sets Damien Sandow on the table. That's an extreme distance there. And an extreme 5-star flag splash through the table. Been a popular move by RVD, putting his opponents through tables. Did it with Fandango a few weeks ago. Both men are laid out on the floor. And this has become a very popular trend with RVD. Doing that frog splash through tables repeatedly, week on after week. Both men struggling to get to their feet. RVD looks to be getting up just before Sandow. And that big kick to the side of the head. Both men are now up. Damien Sandow gets RVD in the corner. RVD reverses. And a big moonsault by RVD. Now repeated kicks onto Damien Sandow, as he's taking a beating here tonight. But Sandow's still fighting with the low blow, blatant low blow. Again, no disqualifications though, so that is perfectly legal. RVD back and forth between Sandow and RVD. RVD throws Sandow out of the ring. And Sandow punches RVD off the apron, goes into the top rope. But RVD throws Sandow down into the mat, right on those broken bits of table. Now RVD has that rolling senton signature again. It's the first one of the night. Looks to be going for his second frog splash. And he connects, going for that pin combo. Referee slides into the cover. And RVD retains that hardcore title. I believe that is the first loss for Damien Sandow thus far in WWE 2K15 JWO. As we saw that big table spot right there. And another frog splash, which was skipped. And RVD is walking out hardcore champion yet again. And for quite a few weeks now, just quite impressive in the scope of the hardcore title. Of course, Fandango held it for the longest, I believe, so far, but for a lot of that, he did not defend it, which is one of the should be one of the rules of the hardcore title. But you know, the NWO, of course, Fandango part of, and did their own special treatment. Another member of the NWO in Big Show, Paul White, making his way to the ring, who's set to take on the Royal Rumble winner CM Punk, who is going to meet Hollywood Hulk Hogan, the leader of the NWO, at WrestleMania for the World Heavyweight Championship, or as Hogan described it, the NWO World Heavyweight Championship. Of course, that belt tagged up with the NWO symbols, and no nameplate. It is the NWO belt, and is there to stay on the waist of Hulk Hogan, who, of course, successfully defended that championship last night in the Elimination Chamber against 5 other men in a clean victory. Lots of clean victories by Hulk Hogan lately. Something you haven't seen too often is the dirty tactics you're used to by the NWO. They've kind of calmed down, I guess, trying to legitimize what is the NWO brand on JWO. They've been quite successful, and I'm sure the momentum would definitely hurt CM Punk if he lost to one of the goons of the NWO. Big Show. So here comes CM Punk making his way to the ring in that red attire. No, we did not see any of CM Punk last night in the Elimination Chamber pay-per-view. You only have to think he's been preparing for Hulk Hogan. But the question begs, what if Hulk Hogan did not come out? Then it'd be quite interesting. Of course, CM Punk most likely wanted to face Hulk Hogan after the personal grudge they have against each other for Hulk Hogan pretty much taking the group that CM Punk led. But you got to think that because originally it was Hollywood Hulk Hogan, it just makes sense that eventually he would get signed to the JW and come back to lead that group. But CM Punk, of course, was offered a position in the group, but he wouldn't have been leader, and so obviously declining that in the first episode of JWO here in this new 2015 season. And he's been sort of a lone wolf as of since, and come to much success as the Royal Rumble winner. And I believe he advanced quite a few times in the tournament. And one of those matches was against Hollywood Hulk Hogan, I believe. And we're going to see, I guess, the rematch from that match at WrestleMania, which is 5 weeks away on March 29th, I believe. And so CM Punk, the best in the world, set to take on the largest athlete in the world, the Big Show, who grabs CM Punk, repeating knees to the abdomen of Punk, and now that big knee to the side of the head. Oh, and that big super kick by Big Show. Kick to the groin of CM Punk. Almost a low blow there. Could have been disqualified, but it's going to slide. STO by Big Show, who's dominating the early goings of this match. CM Punk has not gotten in any offensive move yet. Gets a slap on the Big Show. And a big drop kick, but it doesn't keep the Big Show down. Another drop kick will do. And CM Punk getting fired up. Elbow to CM Punk now. And a big blow to the chest of CM Punk as Big Show throws Punk into the corner. Goes for a back body drop, but Punk gets out of that. Very good move there by CM Punk. Vintage Punk, I guess you could say. Now a big kick to the side of the back of the Big Show. Big Show struggling to get back to his feet. But Big Show, he shrugs off CM Punk. Obviously he has the size advantage in the match, but he's much slower than Punk, which I believe gives the definitive advantage, in which I think CM Punk will come out on top, although it doesn't look like it at the moment. Big Show calling for possibly a chokeslam, but he just shrugs off CM Punk again. He gets to work on that head. Big Show's now got that signature move. And it connects that big leg drop, assisted leg drop. Big Show now has the WMD with the choke slam, whichever one he is choosing. Goes for the WMD, but CM Punk catches the fist. Again for that like swinging neck breaker almost. Now CM Punk has a finisher in hand. Could use it at any time in the match, possibly win. Again, that same move we've seen 3 times already tonight. Dragging Big Show now. Goes to the top rope. Big Show in perfect position here. Moonsault by CM Punk. Calling for the move here. And when CM Punk, he's going for it. He's got the Anaconda Vice. And it's locked in. Big Show struggling here. And he quickly taps out of the move. And CM Punk is going to win the match and get some momentum over the NWO. We haven't seen much from CM Punk in the recent weeks. He's been, I guess, resting for what is probably the biggest match of his life at WrestleMania, in which he's going to face Hulk Hogan for the World Championship. And it's the second WrestleMania in a row for JWO that CM Punk is in the main event. But he did not come out successful the last time around in WWE 13, in which he lost to both The Undertaker and John Cena, and The Undertaker would become the undisputed champion. That was in WWE 13, of course, but this is WWE 2K15, and CM Punk is on a slow rise here, and looking to capitalize on that at WrestleMania to win the world title. Of course, winning that shot at the Royal Rumble. We'll be right back for more JW Raw, in which Ryback's going to make his Raw debut. And we are back on JWO with the big guy, Ryback, set to make his Raw debut, of course, making his official re-debut into the JW as part of the JW Raw roster now. Of course, he was at SmackDown as part of his W13's roster. But nonetheless, Ryback made his Raw debut, I guess you could say, in the Chamber. His official Raw debut is tonight. Of course, a very impressive performance in the Chamber. And he did not win, though. Of course, Hulk Hogan retained his title. Ryback coming very close in the final 3, I believe. And he's going to face Chris Jericho, a man who's had many complaints throughout this whole season of JW Raw, as he's not been able to capitalize on all the big opportunities he's been given. He's probably given the most opportunities out of any other locker room. And he has not won. I don't believe he's won a match, Chris Jericho. But winning against Ryback should certainly put his career back on the right track, but a big suplex by Ryback will start the match. So entertaining to watch in the ring is the powerful moves of Ryback. He just hurts people in the ring. Chris Jericho trying to get some offense, but Ryback counters that move. Just shrugs Chris Jericho off. Now going for that power bomb. And it connects. Possibly another power bomb looks Ryback going for. And it is. The strength of Ryback on display here tonight. Chris Jericho is a rather small compared to Ryback, but certainly an impressive feat to powerbomb a man. And with such ease, as if he were a piece of paper to Ryback. Now a big suplex over that top rope, and it connects to the mat. Chris Jericho taking a beating. Has not gotten much offense in, I believe only one punch. Now Ryback. Chris Jericho reverses that move by Ryback. But Ryback just gets right back on top of things. He's going to throw Chris Jericho into the corner. And that big spear. Now stomping away at Chris Jericho in the corner. Ryback just taking his time here with Chris Jericho. Plants him to the ground again. Possibly going for the meat hook clothesline. But he can't get Chris Jericho to stay on the ground. Maybe that suplex will do it. Falls to a knee but gets right back up. Ryback's got Chris Jericho. And a spine buster. This could be the end of the match here. Ryback has that finishing shell shock move. And he's calling for it, it looks like. That Y2J crowd member in the sign might not be happy. Might be quite disappointed. Chris Jericho is about to lose, gets shell-shocked. And it connects. Ryback is quite winded. But the match should be over soon. Ryback goes for the cover. And he wins the match. Winning his first Raw match here in the JW. Of course, he's not undefeated. He came off a big loss last night. That was his, I guess, official debut in this new season. But, still very impressive Ryback. Moving forward, and a victory over Chris Jericho certainly doesn't do anything harmful. So nonetheless, our main event tonight is possibly the biggest main event we've had on JW Raw. This is a champion versus champion with the World Heavyweight Champion Hollywood Hulk Hogan facing the European Champion, the undefeated Cesaro. So a lot at stake here. Of course, if Cesaro gets the win over Hulk Hogan, you gotta believe he's getting a future title shot. And if Hulk Hogan wins, then he's ending the undefeated streak of Cesaro that he's had since the beginning of the season. And I'm not exactly sure if Cesaro even competed in WWE 13's shows. So, as far as I'm concerned, Cesaro is undefeated, and he's definitely undefeated in this WWE 2K15 season. So here comes your world champion on JW Raw. There it said earlier with the tagged NWO logo. But nonetheless, the World Heavyweight Champion, Hollywood Hulk Hogan. There you're going to see a match card. Champion versus champion. And two of the most dominant performers in the JW today, both talented in their own ways, are going to face off tonight in what should be a classic match. And if Cesaro gets the victory, it should be a very large stepping stone in his career. His first main event on Raw, and a victory over the world champion wouldn't be too shabby at all. Of course, this match booked by General Manager Triple H. Hulk Hogan gets to the ring now. He's gonna rip the shirt momentarily. That NWO New World Order shirt. Of course, the red and yellow Hulk Hogan on JB SmackDown side, not so successful in the Elimination Chamber, but he did have one hell of a confrontation with Sting in that match. And most men were eliminated in the match, and Sting and Hulk Hogan went for about the length of, about half of the match was just Sting and Hulk Hogan going back and forth. There was a big leg drop off the top of the pod by Hulk Hogan. There was a spear through the Lexan pod by Sting, and in the end, a few Stinger splashes, or Scorpion Death Drops, I should say, were all it was, what it had to take out the Hulk Hogan. Red and yellow over on the SmackDown side, of course, treated as separate entities in this universe. And here comes the European champion, undefeated Cesaro. And you got to think that a victory over the world champion will more than nothing solidify his spot as a major player here in this universe mode. But nonetheless, Cesaro gripping the ropes. Match is going to start. Hulk Hogan's got no one else out at ringside with him. Of course, Big Show just came off a big loss. Fandango nowhere to be seen after that hardcore title match last night. And not exactly sure where Kevin Nash would be. Just being Kevin Nash, but nonetheless, one-on-one match. Cesaro with the big suplex. Of course, usually you would see Kevin Nash at the corner of Hulk Hogan, but we haven't heard much from him in a few weeks. Big shot by Hulk Hogan out of Cesaro. Cesaro whips Hogan in the corner. And a big boot that's reversed. That running bulldog by Hulk Hogan connects. That one-handed bulldog. Excuse me, whipped by Cesaro. And a body slam. Hulk Hogan escapes out of the ring. Bit of a healer's tactic here by Hulk Hogan. Tries to get some momentum outside of the ring where Cesaro is not. Hogan with that big kick, and Cesaro reverses that move with a big knee to the chest of Hulk Hogan. Goes for an uppercut, but he fails, and a neck breaker by Hulk Hogan now. Goes for the pin, but that's not going to be enough to put away the undefeated Cesaro. Hulk Hogan now going against the ropes with that double axe handle onto Cesaro, hitting right in his back. Hulk Hogan now just picks up Cesaro with authority, but Cesaro reverses that move. It's been a back and forth match so far, one I'm enjoying very much. Cesaro, he's got Hulk Hogan, and he plants his head into the ring post. Hulk Hogan's sitting in the corner now. Cesaro stomps down on his face with his knee and his foot. Picks up Hulk Hogan now. Throws him into the corner. And that uppercut that he tried to attempt earlier is now successful. Drags Hulk Hogan across the ring. Got both legs tied up. Very nice move there by Cesaro, stretching out the leg of Hulk Hogan. Of course, the leg drop, Hulk Hogan's devastating finishing move. And sure, that would weaken the move by weakening the legs of Hogan. Cesaro calls in Hulk Hogan. And a big DDT by Hogan now. Plants Cesaro's head in the mat. And again, Hulk Hogan calling the crowd. Big chop. Elbow drop now into the groin area. Hulk Hogan, or Cesaro, I mean. Cesaro reverses that move. Whips Hulk Hogan in the ropes. And another slam by Cesaro. A sit-out slam. Goes for the pin now. Very unique pin. And Hulk Hogan kicks out at 1. Obviously, Hulk Hogan is not down and out in the match yet. Both these men at about equal momentum. Throws Hulk Hogan in the corner again. Lots of corner moves here tonight. Big boot into the corner. And a clothesline by Hulk Hogan that puts Cesaro onto the mat. And focusing on the legs of Cesaro. That's where, of course, a lot of his base strength would come from. Elbow drop to the groin area of Cesaro now, and Hulk Hogan going to take some time to pose. And a big boot by Cesaro. Beating down on Hulk Hogan in that corner. Kick by Hogan. Now he's got Cesaro in a grapple. And he lets him free. Throws Cesaro against the ropes. And that big boot, signature move. You know what Hulk Hogan's calling for now. Hulk Hogan taking his time here. Cesaro throws Hogan in the corner. Uppercut reversed. And that big slam by Hulk Hogan on the mat. Cesaro tried reversing that, but Hulk Hogan's going to get the leg drop. He's calling the crowd. And he goes for the pin. This could end Cesaro's undefeated streak so far. And a kick out by Cesaro. 2.5 as the ref calls it. And what is this? CM Punk making his way to the ring. He's got no involvement in this match. Of course, he does have some investment in Hulk Hogan. But nonetheless, CM Punk just sitting outside the stage. Hulk Hogan was distracted. Now Cesaro hits him from behind. Now the suplex by Cesaro about to be executed, and it does. CM Punk might have cost Hulk Hogan the match, and Cesaro's undefeated streak is still going to be intact after this OMG King of Swing moment to the 300-pounder Hulk Hogan. Almost 400-pounder, I believe, actually. Plants Hulk Hogan on the mat after that big King of Swing move. And the streak is still alive. Cesaro gets the victory over the World Champion. And you gotta believe that Cesaro is going to have a title shot down the line. Jericho, there you saw a swing neck breaker by Hulk Hogan. He went for the pin. It was unsuccessful, though. Multiple body slams, of course, by Cesaro on that unique pinfall, where I thought it was it, possibly. Leg drop by Hulk Hogan there. And that King of Swing move. Of course, in the middle of that, CM Punk came out on the stage and distracted Hulk Hogan, which gave Cesaro the opportunity to pick up the victory. And Cesaro, the European champion, is still undefeated, and one of his victories can go towards the world champion, Hulk Hogan. Very interesting. And we will see you on the next JW Raw and JW SmackDown.